Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Scotia Group Jamaica is reporting net income of $7.6 billion for the 6 months up to April. President and CEO of Scotia Jamaica, Audrey Tugwell Henry, says this performance was more than 100% higher than the similar period last year.
This represents an increase of $4 billion or 108% over the comparative period. Specifically, for our Q2 results, our reported net income is $4.2 billion and an increase of $788 million or 23% over the previous quarter.
Scotia Group Jamaica says its core business lines experienced growth.
Our deposit book grew by 10% year over year to $437.6 billion. Our total loan book grew by 20% year over year to $249.3 billion. We saw a very impressive growth of 23% year over year in our corporate and commercial banking business. We also saw a very impressive 31% growth year over year in our mortgage business.
Scotia Group is also reporting increased asset value, which grew by 4.6% to $633 billion as at April 2023. The bank says this was due to significant growth in its loan portfolio and higher cash resources. Jamaica spent more money on imports for the month of January compared to January 2022. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica says goods coming into the country were valued at $592.3 million. This reflects a 12% increase versus the $528 million spent in 2022. The increased spending was due mainly to higher imports of consumer goods, which moved up by 21.0%. Fuels and lubricants went up by 15.2%, and capital goods, excluding motor cars, up by 21%. Meanwhile, the country realized a 52% improvement in earnings from exports. The $185.9 million compares to $122 million earned in January 2022. The increase was linked to a 129% increase in the export of crude materials, excluding fuels. January's performance brings Jamaica's trade deficit for the period to $406 million, the same as the negative balance of trade registered in January 2022. The U.S. currency is selling for an average $155.20. $116.08 is the going rate for the Canadian dollar. The average cost for the pound is $195.52, while the average selling rate is $167.06 for the euro. And to the stock market now. The JSE index, it gained 1,197 points today, while the junior market index lost 4 points. The 39 advances include Caribbean Cream, T-Tech, Berger Paints Jamaica, Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, and Stationery and Office Supplies. Among the 63 decliners, Margaritaville Turks, Jamaica Public Service 7% shares, Epley, Margaritaville US dollar shares, and Epley Caribbean Property Fund SCC. 14 stocks traded firm. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Good evening.